I then had a point in my career where I considered interim opportunities, and I was told I didn't have enough grey hairs. So I went back into full-time roles, and here I am 10 years later, exploring interim opportunities again, hopefully with some grey hairs. I'm Andrew Abboud, and I'm an interim CIO. I've been an IT director for the last 20 or so years, and the CIO, and I've worked a lot in professional services firms like PwC, PA Consulting, Detica, that's now part of BAE Systems. And in recent years, I've been a CIO in higher education at City University London and Laureate Education, which is the world's largest provider of private education. Higher education has traditionally been a very established sector that's existed for hundreds of years, and there's a resistance to change in that sector. It's largely ignored, I think, traditionally, the fact that students are customers. And I think, given that in the UK students have started paying their fees in recent years, I think universities have had to see students much more as customers and have therefore had to improve the services that they deliver to them. And technology is a critical component of that. I think it's changed in a very positive way, largely due to the digital agenda. And I think in some ways it hasn't changed, because I remember 20 years ago we were still talking about, IT leaders needed to be business focused, and we're still talking about that now. I mean, you've got to be business focused as a CIO. However, you need to make sure that the technology works to run the business, but I think you also have to now really take the lead in helping change the business. And I think a big part of the CIO's role, and I've personally found that, is actually educating other executives around the opportunities that technology brings. And I think the digital agenda helps with that. So it makes it in some ways easier for CIOs. In other ways, they're under much more scrutiny because technology and digital is a boardroom topic. I mean, I think of the quote I like on this is Jack Welch, the former GE CEO, said, when the pace of change outside exceeds the pace of change inside, the end is near. Yeah, it's only a matter of time. And I think that's the challenge those CEOs face. The change is happening increasing at such a rapid pace that they just have to embrace it. And I think the CIOs can really help them embrace it. For organizations to be really successful over the next 2-3 years and beyond, they're really going to have to make this shift to adopting, working in not just doing agile, but being agile. And actually running their organizations in an agile way. And that's a whole kind of cultural change for an organization. It's not really just about the technology. In my experience, most organizations are just trying to do too many things at once. There are too many initiatives taking place, so they're spreading their resources in terms of people and funds quite thinly, and the chances of success then are diminished. And one of the things I'd like to see, and I hope we'll start seeing, is agile portfolios. So managing portfolios of initiatives in an agile way. I've been asked to put together 5-year roadmaps in the past on a monthly basis. Well, these things are out of date the minute you've written them. I've spent 25 years in technology industry, and one of the things I've learned is that it's all about people. So it's all about working with people at different levels in order to solve business problems. And ironically, the more technology we have in our lives, the more we need to focus on the people agenda.